Hello and welcome. Aquarister here, coming to you with a new video. And obviously you can see we are no longer in Eternum for this video. We are actually in the world of Ark Survival Evolved. Now, I am still playing New World. I am still loving New World, but I am getting back into Ark. Ark is what I originally started streaming with, and that is what I'm getting back into with the upcoming Ark 1.5 release, as well as Ark 2 eventually. I'm getting the hype back into it, and so we are starting our Ark adventures into. So since this is our first YouTube video for Ark specifically, what I'm going to do is we're going to start out the YouTube just like I start out my Ark experience with an island note run. So today I'm going to be showing you the route that I like to run. This does get me a decent amount of levels, just a little bit of a head start, and I do run this whether it's PvE or PvP servers. It is the same run that I go with. Obviously, with official servers, especially PvE, it can be kind of tricky because people are built all over the place. But today I am on an official server, so I'm going to show you on this official server me running my note run, and we'll see how many levels we can get. So let's take a look at the start of the run. All right, so for some of this, we are going to have to move fairly quickly in order to not get eaten. But where we are starting is when you spawn into the island, you want to pick West Zone 2. Now, West Zone 2 is going to put you on or near this little island in the bottom left corner. And what you are looking for, because I don't have a GPS since I just started on the server, you are looking for this river. So see this river running right through the island? You want to go to kind of the most southern tip because that is where the river meets the ocean, and that is what we're looking for. Your first note is going to be right over here. So once you find where this little river meets the ocean, follow this rock structure and you're going to find it here. Now, what I'm going to tell you before we get going into this is what I'm aiming for stats is primarily just movement speed. I always go for 170 movement speed. Now, some people may choose different ones, but 170 is what's worked for me. So I'm going to get to 170. I'm not going to level anything but movement speed until I hit 170 movement speed. After that, then I'll put maybe a little bit into HP, carry weight, stuff like that. So 170 movement speed is the goal for me to get to. That is going to allow us to get our note run done a little bit quicker, and that's the movement speed that I like to run around with as is anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get going on this note run, and I will do my best to explain as we are running, but some of this is just going to be kind of just watching and seeing which direction I go. But I will try to share some little tips as far as some of the notes, because you do need to be a little bit careful. So let's get going with it. We will start with getting this note here. Let's get movement speed. Get moving. All right, so we're pretty slow, and what you want to do is make sure that you have some stim berries on you and some regular berries, ideally. The stim berries are more so if we get into a situation where we just need to absolutely run away from something. Stim berries will give us that stamina in order to continue running away from said enemy. What you're going to do is once we got that note, we went up the hill to the right, and we're going to follow this kind of cliff face. So on this cliff face, off the edge here is going to be another note, and this is a 4x. This is definitely one you want to make sure you get. But we always start with that first one, because then when we get this one, we already have the buff going. So right here, once you get to this note, just kind of inch off the side so you don't fall all the way off. Get that note. Get our points in movement speed. Now for this jump, do be careful. There's that rock right there. I always jump a little bit further out because you don't want to hit those rocks and die. If you do die, you do reset your explorer notes. In terms of you just lose it, you don't get to go and get those explorer notes again. So do try very hard to not die, at least on the first couple. If you die later on, it is what it is. That is Ark. It happened. So once we get to the beach, we are going to follow the beach kind of up to the right a little bit. And so far, so good as far as people not building right on top of these. But see, this is an official PvE server, so chance that we run some of that. All right, so next note is going to be right over here. So you can see where the beach is. Kind of show on the map here. We're a little bit further over. Right, and then let's get some movement speed going. So you can see with that ×4 note, we ended up getting a lot more XP. Okay. Grab that. All right, so now we are going to run this way. Like the fog's rolling in, so this is going to be a little bit trickier. This, but we'll figure. So as we're running here, we're just kind of going almost directly to the middle of this island, and you're gonna keep going uphill. If you're going uphill, you are doing it correctly. It's right up here. Another note. So right at the top, this is pretty much the top of the West Zone 2 island. You can see we're right in the middle here. Pretty easy to spot once you get up here. So this part, do not go sprinting off the edge because it is very easy to sprint off the edge and die because it's a long fall. See that? I didn't even run and it's just dropping off. All right, so the next note is going to be kind of off to the left here. This one is a bit trickier to find. I always struggle finding this well. It's going to be right somewhere, probably a little bit over. I'm very surprised that not many people are on this island. Oftentimes there's quite a few. This is where I get lost. This is the one note that I really struggle to find. Find it together. Try to eat some berries so we don't pass out here. Good chance I actually overshot it. Stim berries, stamina. Another way. All right here. Okay, so we overshot it by quite a bit, but we came back to it. It is right here. This one's very hidden, very difficult to see. But there's the beach, so that's why I ran so far over. Some servers you will find that these trees are kind of wiped out, but we did get there. We found it. We did it. So we're gonna get this one. Let's see how many points into speed we get. Now our movement speed is just about there. Now again, this is a 1x official PvE server. So the XP is going to be lower than, you know, if you were to do this during an Evo event or official small tribes PvP, anything that has some boosted XP or anything like that, you are going to find that you will get quite a few more levels than what I'm getting. But in the end, I am still a Bob, obviously. I will always say I'm a Bob. I have quite a few hours in the game now, but I am still a Bob. PvE gets me. I get arced all the time. It is what it is. I have fun with the game though. Alright, we're going to avoid the Sarco. This is where some stim berries can come in handy. Sounds like we got some croutons as well. Next one's right up here. We'll grab that. I'm going to keep moving though. And don't be afraid to keep moving once you have some movement speed too. Because there's a lot of stuff that wants to get you. So we're going to keep moving up here. Once we've gone up that waterfall, you can kind of see we moved up that water source. You kind of just hug this left side. Let's get a level there. So now I'm at 170. I'll pump 5 points in E, kind of however you want to build it. We do have an Alpha Carno there. So what we're going to do is once we get up here to kind of where we see these little islands, we're going to run across here and then go to the second one in. On the second one in, you go behind this big rock. And here is the next one. Show the map again. Kind of just following this water source. Alright, So that is kind of the last note that I get. There is technically another note right up here, and I know there's quite a few others as well that you can get. I usually end it there personally. So what I'll do is we'll just pump it into HP. So what you can do is after you've gotten that last one, you can start crafting stuff. Now, if you're able to get some hide, craft canoes. Canoes will get you a whole bunch of XP. Otherwise, you can craft storage boxes or anything like that. So here is one of those other notes that I was talking about right here. So this is another one that you can go and get. It just depends. For me, I don't always run over here and get this one. Oftentimes I do actually forget about it. But let's see how many levels we actually ended up getting here. So we'll put it in the wait. So on an official one-time server, we got up to level 61 after that note run. So that's really not that bad. You start looking at maybe a 2 times XP or even a 1.5 times XP, and you're going to get a good chunk of extra XP and some extra levels out of that. All right, well, thank you so much for watching my first ARK video. I know a lot of you have seen me in the New World videos and stuff like that. That is what I've primarily done, but it's time to branch out, and we're hopping back into a game that I originally started streaming that kind of got me into streaming, into some of this content creation, and we're kind of looping back to it because ARK 1.5 is coming out in August, or should be coming out in August, and then ARK 2 should be coming out sometime. I'm not going to even share what I think the date could be. We're just going to wait and see what happens because ARK 1.5 should keep us busy for a bit. But that is going to do it for this video. So if you would like to see more ARK videos, especially ARK videos, I should say, please let me know in the comments, drop a subscribe. Anything like that does help me out. But that is going to do it for this one. So until next time, I will see everyone later. Hey.